You're way too fancy, Tiffany.
I know, Tiffany, wow.
Hi, Savvy. I know, I'm like, that music is a vibe.
It is.
It's a vibe. And then sometimes they copyright me for it, or sometimes they don't, because I get it through, like, Canva Pro. So I'm like, I just love it. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Friends for the Romance Takeover Readathon. I'm so happy that we're all together.
Yes.
While people are coming in, let's share what we're going to read. And I kind of also want to know, like, what's your favorite book so far? Or if there's been some favorites. Have you found some 5 stars? Have you found some faves? Hey, everyone.
Love it. Well, I was just saying I'm actually not sure which way I'm going to go because I am annotating and reading this right now. I just had the first, like, supposedly a one-night stand scene in here where I was like, we all believe that, don't we? And romance. And I mean, he's definitely what the author said, because I did check her. Like, I love when authors do this. There's a QR code for trigger warnings. That is a perfect way to do it if you don't want to have spoilers in the front of your book. Just take a picture. And I checked the content warnings just in case, because usually in contemporary, if there is like a trigger, it's usually one that's one of mine. I know that's weird, but in a dark romance, I'm totally fine. But in like contemporary, if someone needs a trigger warning, I'm like, it's probably one that's mine. And sure enough, it's like fat shaming in this one and stuff. Not that the hero does that.
Right.
But the author straight up like, he's gonna be a dick because this is a reformed playboy. And I was like, okay, because literally his first little bit, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I read that because she told me to wait. I'm waiting, but he's getting good. But I may read The New Guy by Serena Bowen because I have an audiobook for that. And y'all know I'm working on my little Sky here. So
yes,
love it.
I don't know. I don't know. So
come on, arts and crafts.
Right? And happy birthday, Lizelle.
Happy birthday, Lizelle.
Happy birthday.
Oh.
So I started the audiobook today. Finally.
Oh, yes.
We are here. Oh my God.
It's going to be so good.
I'm 15% of the way through. It's absolutely going to be my favorite read at the Readathon.
Yeah.
Like, yee is all.
Yep.
Yep.
Did anybody else, sorry to pause, did anybody else get Elsie's newsletter day and immediately download the book that was in it? Because she was like, if you like Daddy Eaton, you need to read this. Or Daddy Cation.
Oh, I need to sign up for her newsletter.
I saw that.
I immediately snagged it. And I was like, ooh, you say this is like Daddy? Okay, I got it.
This is everything.
I had know nothing about it, but I grabbed it.
Taking a break from reading to work and catch up on some finds. You work your magic.
No.
You work
Go,
your magic.
Go.
You can read or do whatever you want. Use these as productivity sprints. I should be doing that because I need to get videos out, but I will be reading. What are you reading, Christy?
So I'm trying to decide because I just finished a couple reads today and I'm not sure what I want to pick up next. So far my favorite has been When an Earl Met His Match by Stacey Reed, which I just finished this morning. Loved it so much. Like, so good. Yeah, I know Jen read it.
I just started I read it for like
yeah, I think all of us read it during the readathon now. Or Jen read it first. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's what I finished and I loved it so much. So now I'm not sure like what I'm in the mood for. So I might do There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark because I'm kind of feeling going dark now.
Sure.
And that's been on my TBR forever. So I might do that.
All right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think, I finished Under the Northern Sky today by L.L. Meyer. 5 stars. It read like a historical, almost because of just her writing was so cool. Forced marriage, barbarian clan. It was everything. It like fed all of my Norse mythology, like Ragnar, United Kingdom, like Vikings. Like it fed me. And then I listened to When the Earl Met His Match by Stacey Reed, like the prologue, but for reading. I think I'm going to do Taken to Phyrexia by Elizabeth Stevens. I read a book from her last like month, and it was like a post-apocalyptic but alien invasion, and they were like vampiric. Yeah. And this one, it's set in like space, and aliens have been invading this planet like every 3 years, kidnapping the most beautiful woman. And I guess they've been using this planet as a breeding farm. And when the king finds out, he shows up, and he takes our heroine captive. She's wondering why she's not the most beautiful woman in the land, and she's half alien. So I just like I brought it up to Avery because I love the limited edition cover.
Just told me about it.
I'm like, if I don't read it during sprints, I won't wedge it in, because after Stacey Reed, I want to try to squeak out Hawk by Jessie Hall, and then
Avery hit me up about it last night too, and I was like, okay, say less. I'm here. I just put up I just filmed a video today going through my art, like all the arcs that I've been sent in the last 3 years that I haven't read. I filmed a video. It was very cleansing, and also like I felt like a bad person. But one of them in there is called Scythe, and it's a like alien assassin who has like weapons fused into his hands, and like she's a captain of a ship, and like he like boards her ship to kill the pirates who are going to take her down, but then she's his fated mate. So he's like just gonna ignore her, but then he like, I mean, it says his body reacts to her. I assume will happen. He's gonna kill the pirates, and then he's like, "You're my fated mate, so now you're coming with me." And I was like, "This has been hiding on my shelf for all this time," and now the whole series is complete. Like when they sent it to me 2 years ago, it wasn't complete, but now the series is, and I was like, "I love alien romance. Why didn't I read this?"
Everybody's reading some. Like I'm seeing a lot of Zoe Draven.
Yeah.
Yes. I need to get into that Horde King series.
Me too.
I still can't believe neither of you read. Like I am stunned.
Yeah.
I'm stunned that you haven't, because it's so both of you will love that. Thanks so much.
I need to get into my alien romance era.
Yeah.
There
is so much more than Blue Aliens, girl. Like there's so much more than Blue Aliens, girl. Like,
I know.
Take the Claire Kent route in, and then just go from there. Use the little Claire Kent novellas to like get you in there, and then just like go for it.
Right.
You're reading. Enjoy. I finished the arc for Marrow. It's even better than that.
I'm so excited for that.
Oh my god. I saw that you read that. I was like, I didn't realize Tiffany had an arc for that. Because
I know, because I've been like, Bryn, I love you. And I started going through her backlist. She's just, her writing's so smart. And her and Trista Wolfe just really dialed in the story. Yeah. It is a true enemies to lovers. How many times have we been told that they're enemies and they're not really enemies? It is a true like serial killer rivalry. And it's everything. The reasons for why. It's so good. It was so smart.
I'm excited because Trisha Wolfe doesn't work for me on her own much, because she gets too into the, which I know completely works for some people. Completely works for me. But she goes too much into the mental games, and then I miss the romance. Like I don't feel the connection. But when I read, the Bryn Weaver, the Black Sheep that I read, I really felt the connection between those two.
And
I'll be very interested to read them together.
And then Black Sheep was got a little bonkers with the plot.
Yeah.
I think that they balance each other out, and that's why I was like, oh, this is like a magic made in heaven. Like this is kismet, because I think the stories doesn't get too bonkers. It's easy to track. The psychopathy doesn't. I love the gray matter, but it just is balanced, and it's and it's
Trisha Wolfe really goes to the like psychology side of it, where I'm like, but I don't need it to be real. They're psychopaths. I'd like them not to be real, because we wouldn't actually want to be with the psycho.
Come on, Scream 6.
Yes, come on, nostalgia. The right move. Ooh.
Go, girl.
One.
I'm coming for it. I'm coming.
I need those audios to come out. Let's go. Come on.
Right?
Because Mile High has been in the works for months, because she posted on her Instagram at some point last year that Mile High was in the works for the audiobook. So I'm like, well, where is it?
You're like, I'm ready. Rachel needs an update.
So Tiffany, though, you need to tell us what your favorite so far has been.
Mm.
And I saw someone mention For the Fans because me and Christy, we were speculating about For the Fans, right? It
Yeah.
was you.
Mm-hmm.
And
This is my 4th day in a row of these, so I wasn't sure.
I know.
But tell us.
For the Fans. I love For the Fans. It was my first Nyla K though, so
Yes.
I was just going into it like blind. Cynthia had sent it to me, and I absolutely loved their dynamic.
I love that.
It's sexy, yes. I mean, it's stepbrothers that are forced to start an OnlyFans, but I think it starts right on time. They're like seniors in high school when they meet, when their families are like forced blended together, and then they end up going to the same college. And so the whole gay for pay element is like definitely needed, but that's sort of like, I hate you for making me feel this way. They're both, don't know who they are. They're just like coming live to their own sexuality and like working through that. So good. And the trauma is deep, for one of our heroes. And that reveal comes out later. And it's just a kind of like an uppercut of swoon. At first you think it's just going to be this like steamy escapade because of the OnlyFans, and it becomes so much more. It's so good.
That's good to hear.
I'm glad you didn't remember that I ranted about her to you because
I was like, if I would have heard the Nyla K, if I remembered that it was Nyla K that you read, I probably would have been like, oh.
I'm glad because I'm willing to give people second chances. I absolutely am. I only read one, and then I read the description of many, many more, and I was like, I don't want to read any of those. I'm not interested in any of those. But like, I don't have a problem with step siblings at all. I don't. The twin cest, I kind of am uncomfortable.
Yeah, I need step. I've just learned that
I mean, I don't even have to have that. There's something about twins that messes with my head. Like, that really messes with the ones too where it's like an MFM with twins or brothers. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I can't do those. No judgment. I am the safe free zone for it. But when those get recommended to me in my book rec form, just telling everybody, I just kick those off because Jen ain't reading them. You don't want.
That's why the Midnight Dynasty triple threat. Like, I was gonna get into it. One, it was hard because I'm like, they were horrible to her. Okay, let's just call it how it is. I love a redemption arc, but then I was like, I don't know if I can wrap my head around like I just I need step. And then I can read anything. Step uncle, step brother, step whatever.
Yeah, see, and I don't mind. I have a couple incests that have it, including the Broken Whispers one. Not Broken Whispers. It actually might be called Broken Whispers. I think it has the same name as the other book, which is the uncle and niece. And I love that book. I cry my eyes out when I read it. But he didn't raise her or anything. So I can do it, but I don't know. I think raised by a stepdad and then falling for him is grosser to me than some other parents. Like, when your stepdad raised you from the age of 3, like, that's your dad. That's your daddy.
Right. Yes, Linda. Yes.
What'd you think, Linda?
Yes. And book 2 is such a fun enemies to lovers, true enemies to lovers. It's great. It's so good.
Oh,
I was just talking about it in my video I just filmed, the second book. That I wrecked that one.
Yeah. That was
hey, I'm not judging anyone who likes Nyla K, Lexi. You can have the complicated relationship and love her. We just all have our lines.
I'm going to be starting that. I cannot wait, girl.
Nice, girl. Yeah.
Isn't the limited edition cover? It's stunning.
Aww. Yay, Renata.
Yay.
I just got in my whole stack of Stacey Reed that I ordered, and I was very happy. They're so pretty.
Love it.
And Wolf and the Wildflower. I know why that people couldn't get that at Barnes & Noble. Like, I know people are making a big deal, but it's not one of their mass market books.
No,
it's a trade. Yeah.
Like, people are like, why can't I get it? I'm like, that's because it's with Entangled's indie titles. That's why. It's the same size as when the Earl Metz is matched and all those. So it's not with Amara. Like, Entangled Amara are the ones that come as trade paperbacks. And this one is going to, like, it's with these. So just to tell everyone, because I was wondering, like, I go in and usually my Stacey Reeds are on the shelves and I couldn't find it. And also when the paperback wasn't available the day of release, that's usually a hint because a mass market would be ready because it would be shipped.
When I saw the price for that one, I was like, oh, it's going to be like her. I have accidentally compromising the Duke, and that's trade size.
Yeah, all those ones are that. So when I got the stack, and I was like, oh, because they're all these.
Yeah.
So, but it's beautiful. It's a bigger picture of hotness. So I'm
exactly.
Get your steps in, girl, and read that Alexis Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Sometimes it's like
contemporary.
that.
Yeah. Pick it up.
I feel you.
Sci-fi opera. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, I just shared this. Okay. I shared it in a group message I have with Tiffany, but you girls, you need to look up this book. Hold on. Sorry. I just want us all to spoon over it together. Look up Stone Hearts by S.E. Wendell and tell me you are not going to pre-order that book that comes out in 3 weeks because y'all are going to lose your tits. It's so pretty. Isn't it so pretty?
It's gorgeous.
It's so gorgeous.
Trying to find it.
Waiting.
I know. I'm like,
yeah, it's a monster and fae romance. It's so yeah.
Wait,
for everyone who's
Stonehearts?
watching, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
It looks
beautiful.
like kind of like the Siemna Costa design.
Oh,
yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
That's really pretty. Yeah.
I think it's like literally like a fae and a gargoyle.
Oh. Isn't it dreamy? It's dreamy. Look at her wings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When did the girls ever have wings?
I know. And they're blush pink. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The only other heroine I have with wings is Juliet Cross. Like, she has heroine with wings.
Yeah.
Hey, girl. Fated Mates, Alien. Ooh.
Nice. I love Fated Mates. There we go.
Another mile.
I'm really bad. Let's see. I am going to prep while we're sitting here because I didn't do it.
No worries now about how long it is because I just have been seeing person after person tell me how long the book is, and I'm like,
I don't Mile High.
Yeah, which I'm like, whatever. I don't think it's too long yet, but that's fine.
Right.
We'll see what I feel about.
Feel that way
because if I love a book, it's always too short.
Yeah.
But also, here's the thing. I need Amazon to get its like shit together with its page lengths. I mean, I always need Amazon to get its shit together.
Yeah.
But like this one, I guess, says it's over 600 pages. That Pepper Winters that I read said it was over 900 pages when it was like a 580 page book. You know, Anastasia said that it was 980 pages.
That's true.
And I'm like, why are your pages so different? Like,
because
why
the Kindle pages? I don't know.
I mean, I know, but like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me because that was someone they're like, this was 600 pages. And I was like, I mean, I'm holding the physical copy and it says it's 460. I mean, I'm not saying that's a short contemporary. Like usually a contemporary is between 300 and 350, but it's not like it's ginormous or anything.
Right.
You know? It's
same. That's how I feel about For the Fans. When I threw it up in my window and it said 9 hours, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Right.
And then, like, as I was reading it, I'm like, okay, I see we're starting. I like that there are no flashbacks. They're not meeting at 7 years old. Okay. They're meeting seniors in high school. It jumps when it needs to jump. There's no flashbacks. And like, it needs that length, but it didn't feel like 736, but that too was intimidating. And I wonder, like, if I had the physical copy, if it would be a behemoth like that or not.
Right.
Because they've just been crazy with it. Oh, it was good. Oh, gosh. Oh, you're loving it. Right, girl. Right? The tension.
I mean, I believe you. I believe that I'll love it. So.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I know. I don't read the Brother Polly ones. And that's the thing. All the Polly ones from the early 2000s they're never MMFs. They're always MFMs, and they're usually related.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
cousins or brothers, or there was a lot by Laura Lee. She does have some MFs,
Yeah.
but she had a lot of MFMs that are military ones where they're soldiers together and they're team members, but it's like MFM, and I'm like, don't care. don't care for it. Moving right
Oh,
on.
good, Linda. She
I
loved
trust
Nobody's
those
Duke. Yeah.
people. Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
Yay.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you're right, Rachel. Like when Earl met his match is the group book. It's the group book.
It's a group book.
It is.
It is the group book.
The unofficial group book.
Because I'm like, okay, Jen tweeted, I was like, oh, Christy's reading it too. And then she tagged you, Rachel. And I'm like, what's happening?
well, I talked to each of you in your ears, and I was like, go
Yeah.
read it. Because, I mean, you're not going to hate it. You might
No.
not be as into it as me, but you're not going to hate
Everybody's like 5 stars. I'm like, girl, I read it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like make sure to at least read the prologue before getting on here so I could be a little bit in the know. I'm like, I need to know what's happening.
I mean, the prologue was very curious.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like,
Dog.
yeah, I was like, well, that's going to be a cool moment. And I mean,
Mhm.
when the dog shows up again later, I was like, that is fate. But the cover of the book says fate brought them together. And I was like, yes, it did.
Right.
Harry!
Hey, Carrie.
You're not late. You're on time. You know we're chatting. I promise we'll do a sprint. We're doing a sprint. I don't know how. For how long.
Tiffany just missed all of us. So she's like, we got to chat. And I'm like, I'm here for it.
Tiffany,
Mhm.
you know what MM book I'm so excited about, and the audio is coming out soon, is Not All Himbos Wear Capes.
Yes, it's so good. It is so good. It is so good. You're gonna love it. And yeah, the audiobook's coming out soon. The second book drops the last day of this month.
Yeah.
So like this is a great time to start picking it up.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
It's so fun. It is such a fun world, and it really does feel like Good Boys, Marvel, but romance. It's fun. I'm like, dude, and it's trope heavy, but like she uses them. You know what I mean?
Carrie, you had me wanting this book. I also had it it's like you mentioned it, and then it popped up in my Kindle as like, do you want to read this? And I was like, I mean, I do. I still haven't read it back McMasters, and I've wanted to. So
I gotta start Kiss of Steel. And I need to go back to that bookstore and see if they have any more.
Yes.
I found 2 of those when we were in Georgia.
Oh yeah,
Where I found them.
Jen
You haven't been back there yet, Tiffany?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna go because I was like, oh, I'm gonna vlog it. My dad's like, maybe you should just go. I'm like, good point.
Yeah.
Your dad knows you.
He knows. He's like,
He just called you out in the sweet way of like, how about you just do it for you?
yeah.
You don't gotta vlog it.
You don't have to just go.
Just do it for
Yeah.
you.
Right?
I mean,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your vlogs. Absolutely, do we? But
Mhm.
But yeah, it's like I barely get what I want to get out with this schedule. See, it's like 500. Okay, that's what I was thinking because I'm like, Kindle, don't read me for filth 9 hours. I mean,
Right.
it's not about reading speed, but really, I felt read.
Right.
I was like, why is this gonna take me like half a day? I'm like, excuse you. Yeah, Mile High. That's another thing too. I really enjoyed Stevie's journey in Mile High. It's very different from The Right Move though. They're like 2 separate.
I'm not worried about that at all.
And
I mean, I already met Ryan and I was like, hey there, cutie. I know we're gonna be friends. So I knew it.
Oh,
When I read Flawless and Cade shows up being all grumpy, I'm like,
Right.
happy.
then you're
Gonna
gonna
be so
love,
happy.
You're gonna love the right. You're gonna love the.
And then when I meet Will, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good mix.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mel. When you upload a fanfic and you're like, oh my god, what was
Oh my
it?
gosh, I'm glad I don't see that. Seeing the words is bad enough when I see
the word count. Oh my god.
or when I see that it's a 5, when I see the file size. That happened when I downloaded Chasing the Sun. I was like, I can't even look. I literally got an alert. My phone wouldn't let me do the email. I had to go on my laptop to do the email for that one because it's so large that it's like, you can't send a document this big.
That's Outlander for me. I'm like, okay, 52 hours were committed.
Right? because Mother of Death and Dawn is like literally 22 hours or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It went so fast. I wish there was more. I was like, no, I want it to be over. Anyway.
I hope it doesn't depend on which Amazon counter is doing the count, the one who uses big font or the one who reads it with tiny font.
Oh,
good point. And I don't know if it's the authors too, because I have noticed in some of these Kindle Unlimited books, like when I do a lot of like scanning, okay, and then building my TBR to find like new stuff. And sometimes there's just blank pages in there, or there's like one little graphic, and I'm like, I know we need to get our page flips. I know you're running a business, and I'm here to support my small businesses that are indie published authors. But sometimes I don't like that's added into the page count. So I'm like, I don't know if it's Amazon, if it's the authors, or what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Well, after the Novellathon, this is what I have been going through. After the Novellathon and like reading a bunch of novellas, when I like my first week of March is like 2 books, and then I'm sharing all the books that I got for my birthday and shouting out everybody who got me a book, whatever they're doing. If they have a channel, if they have a bookstagram, like that's what I'm doing with my first week, because I only read 2 books. Because I'm switching from reading like 150 or 250 pages or less to like 700 like pages. Like, yeah. Wait a minute, like I really gotta.
Well, my bookshelf for March looked super hefty because there's like Hosab up there, Mile High, and The Right Move. I had both of the Carissa Broadbents on it. I have the San Mariano that's really big. So like my bookshelf, I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of pages I'm gonna do. There's a lot of pages. So anyway,
Stoneheart.
That's a beautiful cover. Stoneheart.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, one sitting.
Yeah. Me too.
I cannot wait. I read Marrow in one sitting. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna start this before work. Nothing got done. I'm like, it's like barely, barely ready. Ridiculous. Okay. I'm going to try to get to everyone's comments. I don't know. How long do we want to do? Do we want to do a 30-minute sprint, 40-minute sprint? How are we feeling?
I liked what I did yesterday. Was just one 45-minute sprint, and that was it.
Okay.
And like, I like that.
That's the question. How long do you want to go for? Because if we want to, if we want to just do one, like she said, then we talk more, or we can do 30 minutes and talk and do 30 minutes again to do more. Like, it doesn't matter to me. But 45 minutes was a good chunk.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually get some stuff done, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then just do the one.
I think, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let me set up for 45. Because I'll sit here and talk. You guys know that.
I mean,
I could be on here for 3 hours.
We can be chatting and we can chat.
We will. We will.
For real.
This is the tiniest pattern that I've done before. And I was like, I have LASIK. I have good eyes. And it is hard to read this.
Oh, on LASIK?
You've had LASIK?
All right. Oh,
yeah. I know.
I worked for Microsoft. I was like, I'm using my benefits while I'm still here, bitch.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow.
They paid $1,000 for it. Plus, there was a coupon going around that if you got a referral, like I only paid $1,000 an eye to get it done. Plus, I could use my HEA. So I got LASIK 3 years ago last month. So literally right before the pandemic, right before I went to Columbia, I got my LASIK done. Because when I went to Columbia, I was like, I don't want to have to worry about keeping my eyes clean, like my contacts clean because I went on a mission trip. So I was like, if I'm going to get LASIK, I'm going to get it now so that I'm healthy when I go. And it was a great decision.
Okay.
I was dirty the entire time that I was there. So I was very glad I didn't have to be touching my eyes. That was just
stuff in your eyeballs.
Plus, it was when coronavirus was starting around. So I'm really glad that I didn't have to be touching my eyeballs.
Wow.
Oh my God, Lexi, I totally agree. Kai needs to get a book. Liz Thompson.
His book is next.
Yeah.
And then Rio after him.
Single dad baseball.
Yep.
Like, give it to me. Oh my God.
And Nanny.
She needs to republish Madison and Logan because
Yeah.
discovered that they already had a duet, but
Yep.
it was with a publisher. And now she has them back, but she's going to redo them. Because,
Yeah.
like, I flipped to the back and was like, how come nobody's been talking about, they're introduced and you're like, okay,
Yep.
Logan and them are too well developed not to have it.
Exactly. Like,
And they're in the back for book, but they're not.
Yeah, as soon as I was reading that, I was like, they had to have a story. And then I saw it was like a Wattpad that became a published thing.
oh wow.
Oh,
yeah. And you know it's everything. I mean, they are
Mhm.
devoted. And she's so cool. I'm like, he is such the coolest wife. And their kids. Their daughter. So cute. Anyway, sorry. I'm done. I'm going to Viraxia. Reluctantly, I hope. Let's see.
I can't wait to hear what you think. That author's been on my TBR for like a year or two now.
I know, because I was like, I saw in a post that Carrie from Book for Romance, she sent me, she had like mentioned me in a comment, and it was a post about like, here are some Black authors you might not know about. And I started with the post-apocalyptic because Claire Kent has me on survival. Okay, I'm on a survival kick after Claire.
Yes.
And so I read Lord of Population, and that was everything. So I was like, okay, but the limited edition cover for Taken to Viraxia, and this is like a full-fledged series. I hope I love it, because I feel like doing a deep dive in a Zoe Draven deep dive.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. And she's half alien. We always get all this context for the heroes, so I'm excited. So Avery beat me to the punch. I'm like, here's this beautiful cover, and Avery is like, I'm devouring it. Okay, I'm gonna start our sprint. 45 minutes.
Okay.
And oh yeah, sci-fi Black authors. I love you too, Carrie. And I will see you guys back here. Yeah, this is gonna be productive. Wow. I should be able to tell you a lot. All right. Starting, and I'm gonna mute. I'm done talking. I'm sorry. Woo.
Hey.
You seem like you were going through some stuff with that one, Tiffany.
I mean, he's so possessive. Like, true alpha, alien king, like, and it's hilarious because it's like, she's like, what are you doing? Like, I just, it feels like a fantasy world because so far there is some magic. And this is like full-fledged. There are creatures. There's already been like a battle sequence. Like,
wow,
when he sees her, like she's too young, and so he's forced to leave and come back. And I love how he's just throwing his weight around and already smitten. And it's like, whoa, you need to chill out. Like, she's my queen. I'm taking her now. They're like, she's not even of age, sir. You need to back up. Yeah,
I love it.
The first one, Taken to Varaxia by Elizabeth Stevens, and it's woo. And I love it. He's like, we don't breed humans. We're not down for slavery. We're not doing that. He goes in and just like, is about to shut it down until he sees her.
I love it. I've grabbed a couple in that series because like she'll randomly have them for free, like daily deals and stuff. So I have like a bunch in that series I need to get to.
Yeah, it's good. It's a full-fledged world. I'm like, this is intricate and I'm loving it. And this is the second book from her where the heroine's lethal. Okay. She's like, she is an inventor, she's a tinker, she's smart. I'm like, I'm here for this.
I love
and
that.
She's not checking for his lure. And she's half alien. She's red. She has a tail. It's so cool.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a prepping 2 sets. Oh my god.
Love it. I did go with the new guy, and it's a really interesting setup in it, because the guy who is a trainer, or not a trainer, he's he works with the physical training staff kind of thing. He is a widower of a man, and he has his husband's daughter. Well, it's his stepdaughter. Like, he has his stepdaughter, who like his husband had adopted with his girlfriend before. Like, so it's like a very complicated.
Oh wow.
This poor child. Well, I mean, she has a wonderful dad right now, but like she had like all these parents like that she lost, but she's been with him the longest time. But then like his mother-in-law of his dead husband like is really upset that like he has custody of her. Wow. She's like, it's a legal accident that you are her dad and that they didn't get him. So there's also like tension with that. And like, so there's very like lots of twisty stuff. And then the other hero, like he's in the closet because he's the new guy and he's been traded so many times that he's like, I don't even try to tell anybody.
Yeah.
Because some places it like makes you a liability to be the gay one there. So yeah, it's a cool.
That sounds good.
Oh, and they're neighbors, because in the Broken
yes,
everyone who works for the team, right, is always in like the apartments owned by Nate and everything. So
oh yeah,
they're also like the night when they almost have a hookup, he's like bringing him back to his apartment and he's like, oh, I live this way too. And he's like, oh, you do? Where do you live? And he's like, yeah, I live in this building. And he knows, he's like, this is probably a coworker of mine because this is the people who live here. Like, he either works for the women's team or he works for the men's team. So he's just like, fuck, and like walks away from it. So that's like the setup of this, So he's kind of on the guy's shit list right away because he was going to hook up with him and then just ditched him.
Oh, yeah.
But it's cute. So, yeah. So it was a good start to it. I'm liking it. Blame it on the champagne.
Oh, I love a Nordic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Single daddy. That is a CERN brunch daddy king.
Yes.
Remembered. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That rest of that series, in my opinion, is kind of forgettable. They're not bad. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
But yeah, I agree.
Forgettable, except for the Nordic King.
Yeah, that's the standout.
Excellent. Like all the other books, they're okay. They're good for a modern royal stuff, but the Nordic King lives rent free. That's a good one. I can recall that one super well.
Yeah, me too.
So that one, Linda, is going to be a captor-captive historical romance because the heroine, she's working for like this underground organization for the Irish Rebellion, and she's supposed to kidnap the hero's nephew at the beginning of the story. So, I mean, there's reasons involved. And but it's so good. Like once he has her under house arrest, because obviously they get the nephew back, like he's safe, but that's how it starts off.
Yeah.
So I'd say give it some more time.
This is the one, Jen, that I told you about where the hero calls the heroine Banshee.
Yes.
And throughout the story, it becomes a term of endearment.
Oh, nice.
It's so good. It's so good.
Banshee.
Yes.
Yep. Like that is true enemies to lovers historical romance.
It really is.
Yeah.
I believe it. If she tried to kidnap his nephew,
That's
a bad girl.
Yeah.
Hey, that sounds like a rec that goes for last night. Someone asked for a redemption for a heroine who's like a baddie.
True.
Yeah.
And I was having to give examples of a lot, but like that sounds like a
that would be a good one.
I'm sure we see her side of it, but also when you're trying to
Yes.
kidnap a kid, you are kind of the villain of the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, she was basically the villain of Nobody's Duke.
Yeah.
She was,
Oh, okay. Hey, that's cool. I like.
I need to read this.
Looking for last night was Redemption.
They're all on Hoopla too. That whole series.
Yeah.
Oh my
Audios.
god.
It's good.
So yeah,
Nice.
never read them.
Me neither.
Well, we discovered last night, Tiffany, that there are some of hers that are on Audible Plus too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you don't.
Scarlett Scott.
Yep.
Because I snagged the first one. There's quite a few historicals out there. A lot of Mary Ballogs are on that too. So
I love Mary Bellog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
having her pop up. I wonder, okay, because Bella Aurora was just announced for Mystic Box, and I really wonder which ones they're doing. So I'll be interested if they do two from, like, if they do that duet, which I'm like, okay, or if they'll do the other ones. Oh, shit, I can't remember his name. Lev, like if they'll do Lev, and the other one, or if they'll do one of each. Like I have no idea, but. I feel like Raw is the one a lot of people remember. So, because that's Bella Aurora, right? I'm not making that up.
Right. Yeah.
I'm right. Okay. Well, I just got nervous for a sec because. Well, my favorite one is Lev, hands down. It's my favorite I've read by her. Raw had a weird twist at the end. And I was like, okay. for me, it definitely fits the dark aesthetic of it, though. But. I like Lev, and I'm still waiting on the next one in that series. Like, I hope it doesn't take as many years as the second book did.
Ouch, years.
That one took so many years. We didn't think we'd get it. And then I was like, yay, she's back in it. And now
you're waiting again.
And I'm like, please, you teased us so good for the third one. I just want it so bad. But
that's how I feel about Lexi C. Foss. I'm like, am I ever
going girl.
Maybe I should have read it. I'm sorry.
But at least she's putting it into the book. Well, at least like Leslie is still like the thing is her entire section got pushed back. Like there was there was also I was getting a little bit salty with some people, not salty, but I was like Cora Riley just announced a new series. And in her group, some people were getting salty about her, like, well, you promised us these books or whatever. And I was like, hey guys, here's the thing. Think of the books the book series where she's pushed through to give people the books they want. And they've been bad.
Yeah.
So if she has the idea to switch it up and she's inspired for this other series, I want her to write that series. I've been wanting her to do stuff that's different for a while. But because she promised certain couples that's what she's got to do. Whereas I'm like, I think you should just cut it. Like, I mean, yes, I want you to give me Nevio's book. I liked Greta's book. I want Nevio's book. But if you're going to write me an Irish Mafia that's completely disassociated from everything else, and it could be something brand new without having to read 50 books beforehand,
Yes.
I want her to do it.
Yeah.
She's inspired again. I want her to do it because anyone who's a true fan, anyone who's a true fan of Cora's, and it has the glory days of Twisted Emotions and Twisted Pride, and even some of like the Bound by Honor, like they are a staple for a reason.
Yeah.
Cannot bullshit me into telling me that Twisted, what was the last one? Twisted Hearts and Twisted whatever are even deliver as good as the other ones. And that's because it's like, oh, I need to do all of the siblings. And I was like, actually, I think you could have
he's dead of the family.
Anyway, that's my hot take. But there was someone posting about it in like she had posted her group, and then in More to Mary in her group. It was funny because in my feed there's her announcement, and then there's someone who's like, why is she switching to this? And I was like, because she's inspired to do it.
Yeah.
She's been locked into the series for how many years? I feel like it's gotta be it. I mean, some of those came out in like 2014. Like she's going on a decade with what she's done. And it had its day. It has its purpose. It's still a staple in Mafia. I will still recommend those books for however I feel about them. But no one can say that Twisted Hearts and Cravings, there it is. And see, I can't even remember the name because I don't care. That's how little I care. And like those books, she like, in my opinion, pushed herself to write because they were expected, you know, like I love that she cut it off and she's going to start this new series, which I'm interested in. I totally am. She can do Irish Mafia. I love Irish Mafia. I'd love to see if she's got a solid idea for them. Like, I'm here for it. Let it be the Irish Mafia's day. Maggie Cole's going to Ireland, and then these are going to Ireland. Like, let the Irish have their day. I'm here.
Yeah.
Please, and give us the audios to give me the eargasm.
Yeah. Joanna Shoup could write me the historical Irish Mafia.
Yes.
That, like
the Irish gangsters.
Oh my God, Joanna, please.
Yes.
Please give it to us. So anyway, that was just me being like a little salty of it. Of like, I understand as a fan wanting something, but having like being friends with enough authors these days, I'm like, there needs to be a time when you cut your series. Like if your momentum isn't building for each one, like again, think of Juliet's series. That series has just continued to level itself up with each book that she had. Whereas some series, it's like, oh, I promise there'll be 6 books, but like I'm uninspired by it anymore. So they still pump those books out, and it's just kind of like, well, yeah, your books are still hitting the top list, but that's because you have 20,000 fans who are going to say they love it anyway. I don't believe the ratings for the first 2 books of her Sins of the Father series. I'm sorry. They're not good. It doesn't mean you can't like it. I like lots of books that are like, but the story's not structurally sound for the characters. This is me being salty again. My opinions.
I feel like that about all of my authors and creators that I love. I don't want you making things burnt out. I care. Like I become, I have affinity with these authors. So with Lexi C. Foss, like I don't mind not having a release date. I don't need a release date, and I want her to drop it when she feels ready. With Mila Vane, I'm so happy we have a date in November. Whatever she needed to do to channel that, because it's a huge undertaking.
Well, like, it makes them sick. Like, I mean, Mila Vane's been sick from what I've seen, you know? And I mean, Lexi C. Foss, she's having a high-risk pregnancy. So she's had to push out. Like, I'm like, girl. And like Cora Riley, she went through pregnancies. And in my opinion, it causes them to mess up. Like, I think a lot of the drama where she was clapping back about I think it's because she's on a thin rope with her, like, with fans. And so then instead of being like, well, what did I do? She, like, claps back with it. That's my opinion. It's because, like, I don't see Cora as, like, I don't know. I don't see her as having malice in that. I think it was ignorance. And then she always gets hated on because she has such a huge fan base. So if anyone's picking something apart, so then she claps back with something where you're just like, no, now you've made it bad. Now you've made it bad. That's why, like, I don't hold that against her. Some people will, and they totally should, because they're the, like, offended parties of this, and they can absolutely do that. But I just see it as like she's under such high pressure. Like, which names are known most for Mafia? And she's in the top 5 of names that are known for Mafia, of like,
Yeah.
at least for the staple names. Yeah, there's other names that have taken over, but she's a staple name. So anyway, that was a rant I didn't expect to go on. I was really excited about the announcement. And then I saw literally like I saw someone in Mary's group like post a thing, and I was like, but guys, like, just think about it from the author's point of view, you know, like she needs to be inspired or she could stop writing. Here's the thing. Cora could stop writing and just like re-release new covers and audiobooks and things like that and make enough money for a long time. Like she really could. Yeah. She's in a place where she could. And so like, I want her to write me something good because I think of those books of hers that are still on my favorites list. And I want her to find that inspiration again. I want those again. And I haven't got those from the last 6 ones. I haven't felt that. So if this Irish series is what she's feeling, I'm like, go queen, go write it for me. Go write it for me. So anyway.
And I do like that, Susie.
Oh, speaking of that, I think my next book is going to be Twisted Pride.
Yeah.
Which
video did you talk about Twisted Emotions in?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. Yeah.
Okay. Because I saw you were going to read it, and I was like, what did you think?
But you know what? I think if I would have talked about it, it would have been in my mid-month wrap-up last month. Because I gave it 4 stars.
Okay.
And I think with my wrap-ups now, I don't talk about every single book that I read.
Right.
I'm only talking about like the highlights and if there was like a terrible book.
Oh, okay.
And so I really liked it. Definitely enjoyed it way more than Twisted Loyalties. Twisted Loyalties let me down.
I was telling her
I don't like Twisted Loyalties.
I know, but I was telling her
some people who that's their favorite one, and I see it.
It was not good.
Like, why?
I'm like, you just need to meet the Kimura. You need to know what they own. You got to get into this fight.
I stand by it. I got Jessen and Juliet to read 10 books to get to Twisted Emotions. And they were all like, this is a 3, this is a 4, this is a 3, this one's a 2. And I was like, keep going. Because I shared one line from Twisted Emotions and they read 8 books. And that's how I feel with people is I was like, her books are candy. Some of them are rich Belgian chocolate and some of them are like sweet tarts. Like they're all candy. They're all just delightful. But like, I mean, Twisted Emotions is just, it feels more dated now than it did like when I read it because I feel like other authors are doing those emotional kinds of Mafia. Then you know, like when I had read it, I'd only read like 1 note of Mafia Man, so that's why for me that one's so high up. But
and I think also like I have to give credit where credit is due. The development of both their physical relationship and their emotional relationship. I haven't read anything quite like it before. There is something unique about that book for sure, and that was definitely my favorite. Of it. For sure. Yeah, it was very well done.
It fits too into my like sexual healing niche like a lot, like it, and also the like like I hadn't read Neurodivergence in a dark romance. To that point, which is what I say like. I feel like a lot of people have taken that book as like an okay to put those kind of things into series and maybe done it better sometimes. But that was the first one I'd read like that. And also besides Carter Mahoney, my only psychopath I'd read was Ramo. Like he was the next psychopath I ever read. So I have a good space for him. We'll see how I feel about that one. That one has some twists.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, it's been built up, you know.
Oh, Carrie, of course we're excited, girl.
I can't wait.
We're all excited.
We're all excited. The audiobook is out on the 21st, and that one's out on May in the first week of May. So
so ready for it.
Which
has her website up now, which looks so great.
We could have an arc like a month from now.
Oh yeah.
Because she gives them like 3 weeks early. Like that's what I tell myself. I'm like, I could have it in my hands in like a month from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's soon.
I can't wait for the audio for Resting Witch Face. I'm very excited.
Yes, they're so good.
Mhm.
I do need to reread Witches Get Sick. It's the only one I don't still have annotated, because when I first started, I just annotated a book and like shipped it, and then I was like, that's not efficient use of my time. So now I keep the annotated book and copy all my notes to stuff. So I get to reread. Oh, their names just went on my head.
Oh, Violet and Nico.
Thank you. Yep, there we go.
Mhm.
I have a preference, and it's not Violet and Nico. No offense to them, but they're in my like bottom of the list actually.
Me
Well,
too.
and also like their novella in the Witchy Wonderland, I was like, girl, I do not care about them wanting kids. I do not care. I don't care. But I loved their romance. I thought it was one of the hottest of the series.
Yeah, it is
Right. I was like, oh, this novella isn't it, but okay.
I mean, Juliet's always gonna be like the baby type. Like that's just a warning I'll tell everyone. Like she's always gonna be that. That's what she wants. She wants to give us. But I get it. Like in a novella, it's like that's like a plot point of something.
Right.
Us deciding. I was like, didn't you guys talk about that?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it is. But I mean, when you're babysitting triplets, it might make you think.
Right, exactly.
Especially like if you're gonna be mating with a werewolf and there could be a possibility for it, like
same. I want the Vellum Kickstarter. It looks so stunning. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. I am definitely looking forward to it too, and I don't know how much I should start putting money to the side.
Did you guys see Jessen's video?
No.
Like any of her recent videos, she already has the proofs of Wolf Gone Wild and Don't Hex and Drive. Check Jessen's shelves. She just snuck those into her video.
Oh, sneaky one.
Wolf Gone Wild, and I was like, "Bitch, you just sneaked this in here." Because Julia has the proof copies of those already, and it's just like when she did her like March reads, it was just bam right behind her. But then she puts up the books that she's talking about, and it covers it up. And I was like, I saw that.
They look stunning.
They look so stunning.
Oh yeah, Charlie
and JJ, I think.
JJ.
Yeah.
I told her she needs to commission art for that one so that I can have a step back.
Yeah,
That's
she does.
The only one I don't have a step back for.
Well, and I was so happy that she did write their
right now. I have
Henry.
Yeah, me too. I'm so happy that I got an update on them.
Yes.
Oh, I want more.
I was like, give me Charlie and JJ for this one. It'll be cute.
Right.
Yeah.
To do that, but I mean, reading Marrying Winterbourne.
I know.
Oh, did you notice that the lady was from the town of Bridgerton, Christy?
Yes.
Did you notice that in when you were reading the Black Lily?
Black Lily, yeah.
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 She brings up like there's other like hints at Claypez and that like books too.
Yeah, I heard that, which I was like, yep, that makes sense with her love for historicals.
From the town of Bridgerton. And I was like,
I was like, hold up.
That one's so long ago too. Like that one's like, ways old. And I was like, you just popped Bridgerton in there.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah, all the art is stunning that I've seen from Stay a Spell. Ugh.
Yeah, all the page overlays that are gonna get done. Mm-hmm. I got to like hear a lot of her plans like while she was like brainstorming stuff for it, because I mean she was nervous that like I don't know how many people are gonna want it. I was like, they are gonna want it.
Yes.
We want everything.
Huge investment because you have to have the proof of concept for all these. So she's having to pay all these artists now.
True.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, you'll start the early page so people know about it. We'll share about it, remind people about it, and put all the teases out there because your book series is amazing.
Yeah.
And by the time it's complete, like, so.
Oh yeah, my wallet is screaming already.
I know. When did she launch them at what? Is it a Polycon?
No, it'll probably be like after that, but like there's gonna be a special edition one.
Okay,
I think I'm gonna stop talking because I don't know what she said.
Christy, are you planning, Christy? What are you writing down? I see you.
Huh? Oh no, somebody texted me.
Okay.
No.
But I mean,
your ways. Teach me your ways.
Right. No, but it's gonna be amazing.
Yes, I
Yes.
have.
Yeah,
I have.
read that.
It's a good one.
Mhm.
she wrote it when she was 20 years old.
Her first.
Wow.
Yep, when she was in
That
college.
was her first book, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Splendid, Minx, and Dancing at Midnight.
Mhm.
Yeah, that little trilogy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, she was the first author that I collected every single book that they own when I was like 15 too. These books have went to Duluth. They've been in my hometown. They've been in the cross the river. Like I've had them forever. It's great.
For her to like be a published author,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very.
I know.
For real.
Oh geez. Yeah, she's
Very.
got
Yeah.
You're
Like half listening, half audio. No. No, I wish. I wish I could multitask like that. I love a multitask.
I glanced down and I was like, your shelves are stunning. So I'm like, whatever you're planning, I need it on. I need it on.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
My
funny.
pockets are screaming. I will hold on a second. My pockets are screaming because I'm trying to get all these books together for the pre-orders for every signing. And I'm so thankful to like people like Caitlin that are on top of all that, because I can't keep up with all the dates and getting everything.
Yeah.
What signing are you going to next?
I'm gonna do Book Bonanza. I'm not doing anything prior to that, but like even just preparing for that, which is almost like 3 months out already.
Yeah.
After taxes, I'll find out whether I'm doing Love in Vegas or just Wanderlust.
Yeah.
I need to pick one.
I'll be at Vegas.
What?
I'll be at Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, I kind
I'm
of
contemplating
want to go
Vegas.
there. I kind of want to go there. It's going to be so big. That's the thing. Like Tiffany and I were talking, like, I want to go to that one because I want to go and like stay and be there. But like Wanderlust was the perfect size. Like it was.
Yeah.
And Juliet's going to that one. So like I really want to meet Juliet. So I guess
that's fun.
I do both. And like Love in Vegas is like a 3-day one and it's expensive. Right?
Yeah.
But the tickets for Wanderlust are only $25, and then getting a place to stay. And yeah, Juliet will be there this year, which will be cool. So she's who I would pick over it. I mean, guys, I know it'll be great. It's it's gonna Wanderlust is only a 4-hour signing and you get to talk to everybody. And it was really, and like Vegas, I feel like will be a lot, but I get to see Pam at the end of April. So like,
yeah, you're gonna go see Pam in an intimate setting.
I get to see Jennifer Hartman, Pam Godwin, and then some of the ladies from Dangerous Romance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm going to that one. So Sky Warren, Annika Martin, Amelia Wilde, like all of them will be at that one. And I can drive there so I can buy as much as I want.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
I wish I could do some of that.
And those tickets were $5.
That's amazing.
I was telling Jen, I was like, you're gonna actually get to talk to her. Like at Book Bonanza, I'm probably not gonna be able to. Yeah. I'm currently rehearsing. Yeah. I cannot cry in front of him.
I'm gonna get my original Sea of Ruin and Dark Note signed, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'll see her at the end of this month because she's going to be at Denver.
Yes.
But that one's going to be crazy, though, too. That's a big signing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you go to Denver. I really wanted to go. My father wanted to go just for Beverly J.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I was trying to explain to him, this is not like that. It's a full-fledged signing. He's like, oh, Beverly's going to be there. And I'm like, let's just keep an eye out for, like, when she's doing something smaller. She's going to be at a bookstore or whatever. Because Bev's not really playing, with health. So I'm like, she's not going to be at much, but I thought that would be
and that's what I need to keep an eye on because I was like, there are smaller ones that happen in, where you can get lucky with certain authors. And like to drive to it is really worth it for me because flying it was a pain with it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
It was so much fun and I will do it again, but
Yeah, see, yes, you did see Laura Thalassa. That's how
Carrie gets to see everybody.
She does.
Yeah,
She's an
lucky
element.
duckling.
Yeah, Carrie's
Live
seeing them
by
all
a
in
witch
California.
goddess.
Oh, let me know if you want something signed by Allie Hazelwood. She's coming here like this month, Carrie.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh.
Yeah, Christina Lauren and Allie Hazelwood are doing like a panel at like a
fun.
local bookstore downtown. And I'm like, I'll go to that. I'm like, okay, romance. Okay.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited for Vegas. The only two that I have on the docket, I'm not a lawyer. I just love saying that. Anyway, is Love in Las Vegas and then Book Bonanza. And then also I would like to go to Wanderlust. Like that was such an amazing signing. And I love like how intimate it was. So I'm trying to do that. And like my pockets are screaming because I also have holiday budgeting, you know, because I
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's not even so much about like the book signing. I just want to be in Vegas to hang out with y'all. So
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say just with the book friends, it makes it fun.
Well, yeah. How far is San Antonio from you? Because Juliet's gonna drive.
Oh,
Juliet's gonna drive to it.
That's a good question. I know
it's just a haul. What?
I know Houston's 5 hours from me.
Yeah.
San Antonio might be around 9, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not
wow.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas is huge.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. It's a big one. But I mean, Juliet's gonna drive to that one, but I don't know how much closer she is or where she has to go. But so that she doesn't have to ship her books.
Oh yeah, she lives closer than me to San Antonio. Yeah.
But Vegas, Love in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun too. Yes, and I want to see shows and like like the whole experience.
So, are you coming? Do I need to send you my room rate?
I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it for real.
You should.
It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Like, it would be. I have to go. It'll be right around the corner. My boss is like, I'm taking the days off. Like, I took the day off. You know, I don't want to be going back and forth to work. So, but like with Jen, like I'm just gonna have Jen here to have Jen here. Like we don't need no.
Yeah. Right. I was like, I said that. I was like, I would like to come when not everyone is flying in for that because the tickets for Vegas just fluctuate so much. Like, there was the one time I looked and they were only like $400, and then like a weekend. Well, because last year for Love in Vegas, I had started looking like way early in the year and I was like, holy shit, the flights were $800. And I was like, oh, I can't do that and have a thing. And I had started looking super early. And it was just weird because there's other times where for Vegas, it's a lot cheaper, but I figure like on that weekend, because it's also around Halloween. And that was the thing. It's always around that. So flying in at that time, like it's expensive from where I am anyway. But,
yeah.
And Carrie, you're just gonna end up coming.
Yes, Carrie.
That's how she was the last time. I'm like, Carrie, it's a 45-minute flight. Get on the plane.
Oh my god.
So she came over.
Tiffany does it. Tiffany gets her hair done in California. She does
every other month. She's been doing it since I was like 2.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. Okay. What books left do people have? Let's pull it back to the Readathon. We'll talk all fucking night.
Thank you.
I gotta get this done.
I cut her off before I was like, we'll get to that. And I'm like, 30 minutes later.
Yeah. What, Tiffany, you didn't say which one was your favorite. You asked us. I don't think Rachel said either.
It's hard.
Well, I mean, I already know.
Right.
It's gonna be
I
hard.
already know.
Yeah, which one?
I have 3 5 stars. It's Mile High, For the Fans, and Under the Northern Sky. I'm not trying to get everything 5 stars. My lowest rating has been 2. So everything hasn't been.
You didn't gush about Under a Northern Sky to the audience. You did it before we went live, so you should gush about that some more.
I mean, what I loved about that is from the opening, I thought like it read like a fantasy. It's stunning. The writing is stunning. She's on this journey to a barbarian land. She's being forced to marry this man by her because of her cousin who is the king. And she's supposedly a princess. And it's this forced, arranged marriage situation that turns into a captor-captive thing when she's accused of committing this crime that she didn't do. And so when she's supposed to arrive as a bride, she ends up arriving as a prisoner. The entire clan hates her. They want vengeance for the blood that's been spilled. And he's trying to figure out if she did it or not. And I loved the verbal volley and sparring between them, how she dishes it right back to him. And she gives him pause. She makes him think. And of course, he's allured by her beauty, but it's her mind and it's her spirits. It's her ire and it's her fight that has him bewitched. And I just love that. And it's what she adds to him, not only as a man, but as a leader, and gets him to rethink the whole system there. And I love a barbarian world. And it's just, because it's they're alphas and they're very family oriented. It's all about legacy and mine and my woman. Da, 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 da. And she's just if you want answers, I need some reciprocity. I need to be treated with respect. And he thinks that she's this pompous princess, and she is not. And what she withstands while being there, it is just the verbal volley. Her fire was just so compelling. She's very active. And of course, she's changing the sentiments of the clan around him while she's being held captive. I love when that happens. But it was just so good. And so I've had of course, I loved Mile High. And then I loved For the Fans. I loved Under the Northern Sky. So I'm those have been my 3 faves. And then now I'm going to get into Stacey Reed after taking Diveraxia. So I've had a great readathon. It's hard for me to pick.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to pick one. It's not
I didn't realize you read Mile High for the readathon. I thought you read it before.
Yeah, I started it. Yeah. And then I started it. And then I was let me put because I wasn't expecting the curvy heroine rep. And I wasn't expecting the nuance of Stevie and Mile High. The fact that not only is it curvy heroine representation, but the fact that she has garnered her own self-worth. It's not conditional for her, but dealing with the opinions of others, chipping away at that. That was the nuance that and it not just being about her size. Those little nuances kind of got me. And I was let me just wait until after my birthday. My parents leave because I was this is doing things to me. So I was let me just wait until the readathon. So I saved it.
Let me set Tiff off just a little bit more because we just love it so much. Do you think that it was inappropriate for Liz Tom Ford to write about the representation that she did as the type of
absolutely not
she is?
No, I'm grateful for it. It's the same thing that I told Sophie Lark what I told Sophie. Thank you for writing. What is it?
Simone.
Oh my God, it's Dante's
Simone,
book.
yeah.
Yes, Simone. Thank you, because she was I didn't know if I wanted to write Simone, if it was okay for me to write a Black heroine. And I'm me, someone who fell in love with her books and her series, to pick that book, not expecting it, to pick that up and see not only is Simone a Black heroine, she's beautiful. She's on every freaking billboard taunting him. And she's smart and she's educated. She's the son of so I'm that's the kind of stuff that I want to see. And so I appreciate that Liz Tom Ford had that. And there's also nuance to that where that's brought up in The Right Move with Ryan and their mom, and and also in Mile High with her dealing with that within her own family. We need to have these conversations. And so for her to tackle that, I appreciate that. There's also a lot of controversy around, Stacey Reed, her not writing Black romances specifically. And in February, for me, I'm here for picking up and supporting Black authors, period. We're not a monolith. And so that's what Stacey Reed wants to write. And it's compelling. I'm going to pick it up. Elizabeth Stevens, I'm loving. Am I loving that she's a new to me Black author? Absolutely. But what I'm loving about Elizabeth Stevens is when I pick it up Lord of Population and we get a fierce Black heroine that's lethal. It's not about her being Black, which tells me that we can have more inclusion. Just, it's not a big deal. Make the heroine Black. We can have inclusion and it can be seamless, but also you can give us some nuance. And so when people like Liz Tom Ford are writing characters and people like Sophie Lark are writing Black characters, it's I like to see the nuance. Yeah. So that I have no problem. It's whose hands it's in. It's not
here, girl.
or not for me. It's what are you doing? Because because the same could be said, I really love the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I love the Morally Gray, but I know that she's Cuban, but I'm not going to call her Cuban. She didn't even recognize that. Is she Cuban? You know what I'm saying? So we could have a whole conversation about that.
Yeah.
So not, what are you doing with the representation?
Yes.
Look like.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing with it?
Yeah.
So
my thing would be like, why are you trying to scare people away from doing it? Especially if they're having sensitivity readers and they're doing that and they're writing inclusion into our books. Why are you trying to scare people away from it by attacking people like this who wrote a fucking good book? What you doing? Anyway.
And Stevie herself wrestles with that with her parents. I know you're in it, girl, so I'm not.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yep.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And I normally don't it's difficult because my lane is always to with whatever space, even before this channel, is to try to articulate what art sounds off of me, whether it's film, whether it's fine art. Throughout my life, I've always been told how to use my marginalized voice. Okay. And I never thought that me articulating how art moves me, I never felt like that was the right lane for me because there's so much work that needs to be done. And I recognize that, but that's my lane. My lane is talking about art because it's what binds us. I don't care where you put your dollar, who you choose to love, who you choose to believe in. Okay. Yeah. I just care about what you're reading and why you love it. That's what I love about this community.
That's
because
right.
It's what binds us all together. And arguably there's a lane, for rising up and for change. And I understand that, but I feel like interpersonal communication and connection is what matters. Because it doesn't matter if we voted for different parties if we love the same book. That's what I want to talk about. You know what I mean? So it's what I like about this community. Because it's that's why I don't kink shame. We're going to talk about all of it.
I would also put forward that there is no perfect art. Because I think if stuff moves you, it's probably a little messy. It probably has something that isn't perfect. And I think, in my experience, the things that have the potential to touch you the most usually have something edgy about them. And that's why there needs to be room for interpretation and to take the good, not to take the good with the horrible, but to find the good and stuff and let the other stuff go. To the most part. Anyway, that's not a perfect statement. I realize that people can volley back with it, but I think that the people that I'm friends with, we're looking for the good and stuff, and we can have a discussion about the stuff that is bad, not, there's something a little bit bad, we must hate whole thing wholesale.
Yeah.
Because then where's the interesting part? Why can't we talk about the parts of Cora Riley that we like and the things that are annoying, or the parts of Julia Quinn that we like and the parts that were messy, or the things about Kathleen Woodwis that were revolutionary and the things that were that was strange, why can't we do both? Why can't we do both? So anyway, that's why I wanted Tiffany to go off on it, because there was someone very specific who was attacking people who were reading the book. She's the person.
I'm queen for I'm so bad. I always pick up what's being I don't know, because I'm gonna read what I want to read. So and I like to be aware, because I had this conversation today. I like to be aware of the conversations that are being had.
We had the conversation,
especially with I like to be aware so that I can address that. But I'm also not going to. I mean, we never got a favorites of 2022 video from me, but I like to be aware so that I can address that. I know that that's going on, but also be authentic and be I still love this book. And I know the larger conversation that's happening, because I don't ever want to be out of touch. I mean, even with a read, I want to be in the know. Okay. I always want to be in the know, and I always want to hold space for that and honor that. But at the same time, I just feel that situation, with Love and War, I was reading that when I was really controversial. But I was reading it and I was vlogging it, and I wasn't I wasn't going to take it out of my vlog. And
literally the week that it happened. Yeah.
And Shira, who another Black author, small business, was so her conversation that I had with her, her message to me, she was so moved that I would still read it. And it was a really difficult time for her as an author. And her talking about her life experience and how she, you know what I mean? So it was just, for me, if that's something that we can do just by picking up people's work, I'm here for it because they change us so much. But like, yeah, I'm notorious for like picking something up. Or I was just about to be like, Manacled was my favorite. There was a lot of controversy going on with Manacled, and Jen's like, so this is what's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then the big thing is like trying to really understand it, and also know that like, and send people to the right places. So,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Tiffany went, oh yeah.
Because for me, I feel like I need you to be the change that you want to see in this community. And it's very hard for me to see my friends get bullied and feel silenced, because they don't really,
because they can't clap back.
Can't really volley back with that.
Yeah.
And so my thing is that I love to have a conversation, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to have a conversation. It will always be a debate. I'm never going to pick up what, and then like the impersonal you, like I'm never going to pick up what you want me to read. I'm never, I'm never going to pick up or be reading what you think I should be reading.
It never comes across, and again, from a certain group, it never comes across as let's have a discussion.
No.
It always comes across as, did you know that you're reading a racist? That is always how it comes across.
Or Dana
Yeah, it's never like, hey, have you heard this? What do you think about it? Like, let's talk. Like, that is never how I've ever been when I've talked about something. No. It's always like, what are you doing platforming this or whatever? And I'm like, well, actually, like I was worried about certain things, but I decided to give it a chance. And if I didn't feel strongly, I wasn't going to talk about it at all. And that's happened with more than one book that isn't specific to one. Like, there have been times where I'm like, if I like this and talk about it, I'm going to be in trouble. And so I'm going to make sure that I love it. But I shouldn't have to do that. I don't know. I'm a very open-minded person. And it's also funny that these people who want to chastise me, they never comment or like or talk to me any other time except to run in and say, do you know that you're doing this? Or like the same thing happened. Like, I did a video with a very specific kink in it. And so I brought up Dana Isley in a video because she had this specific kink. And most people who watch my video, they don't even know that. They're not on TikTok. They don't know a single thing. And guess what? I had someone say, do you know this person's a plagiarist, blah, blah, blah. And I like got rid of their comment because I was like, I literally don't care. I'm not going to engage. And then they used a different account to come back in and like, oh, you do know about it, you little comment deleter. And I was like, and delete your comment again. Bye. And I really used a different account to say like, oh, you did know about it, you. And I was like, yeah, and I don't fucking care. Bye. And I just got rid of them again. Because I'm like, you
Me
only
either, April. I don't never know drama. I don't.
I'm way too late.
My failing. Yeah. I'm not in on the tea. I'm not in on
really know about it either.
It's bad. I should be more aware. I recognize my shortcoming. I'm just picking up books and I love it. I'm not judging or gleaning your TBR. I'm just here for the gush. And I think that might rub people the wrong way because again, we do need those. That's just not my post within like the communities that I inhabit. And I like sometimes that rubs people the wrong way. I'm not always in the know. That's my failing. That is my shortcoming. I can always do better. It's not, I just feel like connecting through books is where it's at for me. And I do need to be better of being like aware, but I'm never in the drama. I'm always just living in books. I can barely get out the videos that I want to make. Okay.
All these people in the comments, in the comments are making the point. Because I'll see something get thrown at me at Instagram where people are judging a post where my reach is actually much smaller than it is on YouTube. Yeah. And on YouTube, none of my people will know. None of my people will know what I'm talking about. Yes, Stacey, I do. Like, none of my people know. So it's like, should I not talk about a book here because of something that none of my viewers will know? And the people who know are the ones who like hunted down this thing to attack me about. And I'm like, no, I don't have to keep those comments. I don't need to deal with you at all. So when people are like, oh, you do know, you little deleter. And I'm like, delete? Literally, they said that. I should have kept it because they were like, they had said, are you aware of the Dana Isley controversy? And I got rid of her comment. And you can tell then that they came back to see if I had answered because people don't get alert. Like I've done it before when I've been in back and forth. I go back to see. And they're like, oh, you do know, you dirty comment deleter. And I was like, yep, and I'm doing it again. Like, I don't have to keep anything here. Like, I curate these comments. And if you think that I don't, you're out of it. Like, it's not that I get rid of people who don't agree with me, but like, give me recommendations in the comments or say nice things about how I look. I don't need to keep anything else. They're my comments. I own it.
At the end of the day, like, I'm here to have a good time, read books, and talk about them.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Right. You can delete comments on Yelp. I can delete comments on my, like, this is my small business. Only positivity.
And I have a really small, like, my channel's a smaller channel, and I kind of like it that way. And I'm so thankful for everyone because I'm not very consistent on my channel, but people stick around. And I've been like yabbing in my stories on Instagram for a while, and I know like the people that are there get it, and it's just like it just feels like it's an intimate gush, you know. And it's like fun. We can dissect the heady, steamy elements and like have that's what I'm here to do, you know. Talk about the books that I love, and of course I will recognize, you know, if my friends are being attacked or if there's something that's like completely out of line, but I am, for the most part, I can't keep up with it all. I mean, like I'm here for you. I'm here to sip on the tea. Okay, you can you know what's going on, but I'm not out there hunting for. I'm not even on Twitter. Like I should be doing better if I'm going to be holding certain books up. I recognize that, but it's just
I don't know. See, I don't know. How many of the classic authors had messed up stuff because the times were different. Some things were wrong back then. Like things were always wrong, but people didn't know. The needle shifts all the time. And that's why, like, we can still read those and appreciate it and then be like, oh, well, this person was kind of shit. Or like, oh, this happened. Like, whatever. But I don't know. Books getting canceled because of certain things. I'm like, I don't got time for it. But anyway. It's always an important discussion to have, even though it's something I don't like dwelling on all the time, but it's just like we're the romance community. Back to like the point of this, like this is romance takeover readathon. Let the love win.
Yes.
And all the other stuff can just
I just love books and stories too. And it's like when I find a story, I want to scream about it to the rooftops and I want to gush about it with my friends. And in that, when I find out who wrote it, it's like, that's where it's like, oh, wow. Like, it's like I find the story first and then where it came from. It's the same with the screenplays that I read for work. You know, I read the screenplay for, like, the story speaks for itself and it things. And, like, we all love stories. And I love how I love being on this live with all of you because it's like I get to see your faces. But it just amazes me who Romance Landia has brought into my life. You know, and I'm so cool because of these stories that we love so much. And I feel like all come from different walks of life, and that's to be celebrated. Yeah. I like focusing on that. I'm less concerned about, you know, what's on everybody. I don't know what's on everybody's TBR or like how many books you read. You know, all that little stuff. But I mean, I don't minimize the concern of others. I don't, you know, for whatever reason, like it matters to them if you're reading too much or too little. I want to we're all like on separate journeys, but for me, it's just like it's work. Like I'm not judging.
It's always comes back to when people want to wave the finger, because I think it's perfectly appropriate if you hear something about an author or whatever and are like, I can't support this author. I'm not doing it. It's when the people come to my channel and want to be like, did you know this? You're promoting this person. You did this. And I'm like, well, you can refrain from your dollars being spent. That's you using your voice, but you can't force your voice on me. Like, that's honestly where it is. Like, the stuff there's authors I don't support because they're shady. I'm not saying that everyone just gets a pass, but there's also people who will still love them. So they don't need my dollars. I have refrained my dollars. That is what I have chosen to do. That's how my voice works.
This is our happy place. The world's out there waiting for us. But in here, you know what I'm saying? But in here, I just want to gush and live in the fantasy. That is my life, creating the fantasy. When I share that, I want my space adorned with kitschy, quirky things. I want color. I want to talk about stories, and I want to live. You know what I'm saying? I have to go into the world every day. Okay. And like, it's so nice to like we're all each other's people. It's like, this is a respite from that. I don't want them creeping on in. Like, I'm not trying to like, have the world up in our space. But, there are times when we do need to rise. But for the most part, it's not about what you're reading. You pick up what you want to read, girl. You read those kinks. You read about those tentacles. Like, you get it in. Yes.
This was awesome.
Oh my God. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
I know.
It honestly doesn't seem like it was that long.
Yeah. Girl, we're all here for it.
And I ignored your request. Everyone was like, I could go for another sprint.
No.
I hope you just muted me and you kept reading.
Yeah. We said we were going to do 1 45-minute sprint and we were going to gush. This is the only one Tiffany's able to go to because our wrap-up show on Sunday will just be us three.
Yeah.
I think, right? Because you can come, Rachel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'll try to be in the comments. I've got.
Yeah. Well, no. We knew.
No, yeah, you're working.
So
yeah.
That one won't be, well, it might be long. I don't know. We'll
see.
We're going to do prizes and we're going to talk. And
I'm glad. I wish we could talk about the group book because at that time.
Girl. I'll just, you send me a bunch of recorded messages and I'll play them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could just message the group. I guess you don't just
have to
message the group because we've all read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she does it herself. Or sometimes doesn't. Or sometimes forgets to mute.
I was so embarrassed.
It was so cute.
I don't even know what I said. Like, this is why I love this. And I'm screaming.
I'm reading it. She's like, oh my God. Like, literally, like, squeal. It was great. It was great.
Oh, good.
I mean, I will cry silently when I read sometimes, but I don't usually squeal. But I love it.
It depends.
That's true.
Sometimes I'll go, oh.
I talk back to my audiobook sometimes. Like if I'm listening to audiobook, I'll talk back.
Yes.
I'll talk back to those. Yeah.
I'm too animated. It's weird though because now with the editing, you watch yourself back. Like after I open a gift, I'm like, are you serious? I'm watching myself back. I've never in life watched myself.
It's so great.
So you're great.
Don't you ever cut that because that's not for you. No. You opening presents is not for you. It's for me and for us when we send you stuff. So you don't get to cut that because I want to see your genuine reaction.
Exactly.
When you maybe just like stand away from your microphone, but don't you cut that. Don't you cut that because I want to see it when you are the most joyful gift receiver ever.
Mm-hmm. So somebody asked me to make a highlight reel and I'm like, I don't want to look at it again.
Because I love it. I freaking loved it. I watched her video and she's like, I'm going to open her present. And I was like, she's only halfway through the video. How long is it going to take her to open my present? And it took half the video. And I was like,
you gave me chocolates. So I
immediately.
And there was glossy tape.
Well, you were funny too because I told you which books I was going to get you.
No, you didn't. You said it might be this, it might be that. And then I was like,
I said, which books would you like? And you were like, well, I like this one and this one and this one. And I was like, okay. And
yeah,
that's a surprise.
You must have caught me on like a 42, because
that's fair. Rachel already had it annotated flawless because she won that in the Patreon. So I was like, wow, heartless is perfect. Anyway, sidetrack. We should say goodnight to the lovely people.
We should
do that. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
We could listen to Tiffany talk all night. We know it.
For real.
We know it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked this sprint.
On Sunday night for the wrap up on my channel, 8 p.m. Also, the bingo form is in my Instagram. Okay, go to my bio and fill it out. I will also post it on my YouTube community page for the people who don't use Instagram because everyone can enter. Yeah. It's going to be e-gift cards, so just make sure your email address works or you won't get no money.
I love those because they're instant. So that
Right. They're great. So, yep, if you participated, you'll be able to do it because I don't actually care if you got a bingo or not. So just make sure you fill it out.
Right.
They're participation trophies for everybody.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Oh, yay. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
There we go.